Hey everybody, good morning. Can you believe it's June 2nd already? This is crazy. This year is flying past and life is exciting and wonderful and overwhelming and crazy and hard and easy and awesome. And there's somebody hammering out there. I might have to move to a different location. But I wanted to just dive in and just ask how are you doing? How are you doing? I'm going to move right now, you guys, because there's going to be, well, actually, I'll wait. It's the hammering stops because we're living in a construction zone. So I'll move to a different place if I need to. But you guys, June 2nd, life is flying, time's flying, the year's flying by. I want you to pause. Everyone pause for a second and just say, just ask yourself, am I on track? Am I on track? And am I on pace? Those are two super valuable questions to ask yourself, and they're worth writing down and thinking through. Like, am I on track? So, think back to maybe the start of the year, right? It's almost 6 months now. How are you doing? Are you on track? Are you heading where you want to go? And are you on pace? Sometimes we're on the right track, but I think it was, who was that? John Wayne. I think it was John Wayne that said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there, right? And so two questions. Are we on the right track? And are we on the right pace, right? Heading that way. Mary just had a deer walk by my door. Nice. Love that my desk looks out at the woods and I get to enjoy nature outside while working. Yeah, that's crazy, super nice. We've been really loving, enjoying that as well here in Guatemala because we're up in the mountains. You guys, this place sits at 7,500 feet above sea level. So whenever I go out riding my mountain bike or running, I'm starting at 7,500 feet. It is, it's good stuff. It's super good stuff. So what do you think? How do you feel? Everyone ask yourself, even though people watching, I know some of you couldn't make it, you're watching the recording, but are you on track? And are you on pace? Man, it's so important and so fun to think about and consider and evaluate. And then of course the big picture of all that is like, are you well, here's something I got several things I want to talk about today. I've been super excited about, but I want to ask, and let's pause right now. Are you actively dreaming? Are you actively dreaming? Meaning, are you allowing yourself to dream about exciting things? And are you setting goals? And are you focusing on your goals? And this can be interactive, my friends. You can use the chat there. You can say yes or no. You can even jump on the mic and share. Are you actively dreaming? Are you allowing yourself, not only allowing yourself, but carving out time and space for yourself to set some dreams and goals and to spend time thinking about them and planning for them? I know we talk about that a lot. We talk about goals a lot. We talk about, living an extraordinary life, but I don't know if the rest of you can relate to this. You have so much going on. You got this task and that task and the kids, this, spouse, that, work, this, house, this, neighborhood, this, all kinds of stuff going on. And sometimes the pursuing of what we really want to achieve and who we really want to become, it can kind of get set aside a little bit. Anybody with me on that one? Anybody relate to that? Or is that just me? I suspect you guys can relate to that it comes along. So I want to ask, I want to invite you to deliberately make time each week, and maybe even a little bit of time each day, for some dreaming and some goals. How many of you let's do this real quick. How many of you have a vision board right now that's not like buried in a storage unit somewhere? You actually have some words or pictures or images up that are reminding you of what you're going after, right? And then I'm in just a second here, I'm gonna share like next level vision board stuff. It's like, it's amazing. Had 3 different interactions that made me realize that my marketing is starting to pay off. Yeah, Mary, that is awesome. Love it. It has me excited to be able to think that we're going to get to where we want. Yes, that right there, it gives us so much hope, and it fuels the fire, doesn't it? And so that's in a marketing piece for business, but it's the same thing in whatever you're pursuing, right? Maybe it's trying to train your kids to do something consistently, and you just keep repeating and repeating. You set up the systems and the charts and the chores, and you just keep teaching it. And then one day they just do it. And you're like, bam, that's a win, right? And it just starts happening a little bit here, a little bit there, until they become super consistent. Or maybe it's in some, man, can you guys hear the knocking? Is it like really loud? I'm gonna step outside, because why not? Why not go out into the beauty and wonder of nature? Oh, you guys are doing your class right now? Nice. Okay. My kids are doing the mentor accountability program. Check this out. Look at this. Sorry, little side note here. Look at the flowers, man. These things are amazing. It's our forest here. Wow. Okay. So we all have to make that time to see it and feel it and persist in it, right? One of my coaching clients last night, we were talking, he says, he said, of all I made mistakes and got caught and stuff and been stuck and trapped. But he says, the one thing that has made the biggest difference in my life and in my business is persistence. Just keep persisting. Just keep moving forward. And then you start to get the momentum. You start to see results, like Mary was just talking about. So exciting. So exciting. Okay, she's got a vision board right next to her desk. Nice. But as a note, I've been able to dive into that course yet, but I started on the marriage vision board. Yeah. Okay, you haven't gotten the course, but you started on the marriage vision board. Fantastic. And ideally, you want like kind of a personal vision board, a marriage vision board, and kind of a family vision board. And I know it can seem overwhelming, like a lot, but just get some pictures up, get some ideas up. We've got to have those targets up. Ooh, nice. Nathan, okay, insight here. For me, he says, I feel like I've been looking too much to others for my self-worth, particularly with logistics and to-do lists. As I focus on personal growth and activities that will make life better, I'm feeling more fulfilled and feeling more self-worth from that and putting less self-worth on the to-do list. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's something so magical and powerful about settling into you guys, we've talked about this, right? And Maslow's hierarchy of needs of self, I just forgot the word, self actualization. That's the word, self-actualization. And it's leaning into that. And so it's worth stopping, all of us, and just asking, are you spending time dreaming? Are you spending time doing things that you actually love to do, that just light you up and fill you? Right? Oh, okay. Let's share a little bit. What's a dream? And let's kind of stir this up right now. Today, you guys, I'll share right now. Today, I want to do some coaching. So any one of you just want to jump in, something you're struggling with, something you want to focus on, something you want to go after, something you've been trying to get dialed in, but haven't quite gotten it yet. I want to do some personal coaching today. Oh yeah, by the way, Rachel's not here because she's on her yearly mom getaway. She's at the beach right now. She's probably laying on the beach, soaking in some sun, with her aunts and extended family out there, just loving it. But I want to do some of that coaching. So, but before we dive into that, let's share some dreams. Let's share a few dreams right now. Let's just stir this back up again. And I know we talk about this often and we bring it up like, but this is critical because we all get so busy. And then we end up weeks pass, months pass, years pass, sometimes decades. And we look back and it's just like, it's just this blur of busyness. You guys with me, aren't you? You know what I'm talking about. The blur of busyness, especially raising kids. The years will pass and all of a sudden they're big and they're moving out and you're like, what in the world? But I want to make sure that we're on track and on pace. So let's share. Let's just share for a few of you. What's a dream you want to work on right now? What's something that just lights you up when you think about it and dream about it, and something that's just right, needs to be a priority in your life that you're progressing towards? Let's share. Let's dream a little bit together. Turn on your microphone. Turn on your cameras. Come on. Don't make me start calling names here. Let's go. Oh, I'm so glad you turned your camera. I wanted to see her for so long. Look, she's so big. Oh my goodness. Yes, oh, look at that smile. You're so big. Oh man, I was thinking about her this morning. I wanted to see how big she is. Look at that big smile. Oh, I love it. So cute. All right, Sam, you want to share? What's something you're dreaming about?
Just, always traveling with the family, just making it actually like happen logistically. That it's just been a barrier for me to get to that point.
Yep.
So that is always on my list of dreams. You want me to tell you more? I have more dreams. I always have more dreams. The logistics of like writing, like I want to write more.
I was hoping you're going to say that one.
Yeah. And I write for myself, but I want to write more than just for myself. And I was just thinking this morning, like I know at one point you told me just do like my name, samkorea.com or whatever, and just start publishing things online. And I think, the logistics again are like just hanging me up from stepping forward in that.
Oh, good. Let's hit both of those. Thank you for sharing that. And I think I pretty safely assume that a lot of people can relate to that. That we start thinking about the logistics. I think that's a great way to say it. We like, I have this dream and this dream. I start thinking about the logistics, and it often seems insurmountable. It often seems like there's too many pieces to fit together to make it work, right? And I think I know in my own experience and people I've worked with, if we let those trip us up, so to speak, if we let the logistics trip us up, then we never make progress. I've also found, and you already said it, when we start taking little steps in the right direction, either some of the logistics fall away, some of them take care of themselves, or by taking steps in the right direction, we get to a point where we're like, oh, I know how to take care of this now. But trying to see logistics from way back here, does this make sense? We're thinking about logistics that have to happen way out there, and from here I can't see what I have to do. And so a lot of people, they never move. They got to get up and get going. So like
that is literally just a quick tiny story to like illustrate that. My daughter wants to start a banana bread bakery, and she literally has thought of every logistical thing, like how much she's going to charge, the marketing, but she has yet to actually make banana bread. So it's easy, obviously, to see it in my children, but not so easy to see it in myself.
Yes, and it's true for all of us, right? We'll analyze and we'll think and we'll just run circles around these ideas without ever actually doing it. Now, what's cool is I know a little bit about your travel plans for the summer, so you're going to get some
Yeah.
you got some adventures, even some travel situation.
What'd you say?
I said forced travel with a house situation.
Oh, yeah. But it's good. I'll take any kind of travel.
Right? So, well, let's dive in for everybody. If you have a dream, like start with an action step. Okay, well, we're gonna go with your writing for a second here, because Sam and I, we've talked about this. She has this fountain that has to come out into the world. She's got to share it, and it's going to come out in writing. And this is a perfect example, Sam, because there's nothing logistically, there's nothing to stop you from writing every day, right? Whether it's, I was talking to somebody yesterday about this, another one of my clients, and I was like, it's either a page or a paragraph, right? Every day you set a standard, you have a minimum. I write a page or a paragraph every day. And if we think about, like, well, this particular client, he wants to write a book, right? But if you think about the book seems so big. You guys with me on this? And I hope you're applying this to all of your individual dreams. If you think, I need to write a book, and the book's so big, and you get home at night and you're tired and the kids this and the house is a mess and all this stuff needs to be done, and you're like, I can't write my book. And that kind of thinking stops us. So you pause and say, can I write a page? And the vast majority of us can write a page, right? Sam, can you write a page? Yeah, we can write a page. And some days it'll just be a paragraph. And you're like, today I can't even do a page, but can you do a paragraph? Yeah, right? I write every single day. Ironically, most of my writing has been happening at 4 a.m. Like I'll just wake up like, I got an idea. I'm like, oh, and I just write and write and write. And sometimes I'll write on my phone. Sometimes I'll dictate. Sometimes I open up laptop and go. Sometimes I write in my journal. But you write a page, and then the pages add up. And after a year has passed, the year's going to pass anyways, you guys. All of you, with whatever your dream is, the year's going to pass. Look, we're already June. We're already in June. Half this year is almost passed. So it's going to fly by. But at the end of a year, you'd have 365 pages. And along that path, you're still gathering your pages while you figure out some of the logistics, right? And so maybe you start with just your name as your website and just start publishing. And on the good days, you're like, bam, I hit that one. You take that and you throw it on Medium. Just publish it on Medium. And then, or maybe along as you're writing, the name clicks for you, right? I've talked to a lot of authors that, I talked to a lot of wannabe authors who get hung up on, I don't know what to name my book. I don't know what the title is going to be. I'm not sure what the chapters are going to be. I don't even know what the website's going to be. And so they don't write. And others write and write and write and write and write. And the name comes while they're writing. I mean, they're 100 pages in, and all of a sudden one day, just, that's it. I got the name. Bam. But it came from writing and making progress. That happened to me the other day for the book, one of the books I'm writing. Right? It just clicked. I was like, yeah. So take all of you, whatever your thing is, keep taking those steps forward, right? Keep making those progressive steps forward towards your dreams. Let the logistics will take care of themselves. You just keep taking those steps forward, right? And let me say this, Sam. I'm gonna come back. Are you guys okay if I do this? I want to do I'll take individual cases, and I want to lean in and really help you feel like you're making progress. Sam has the travel bug like we do. She's got wanderlust, like our family does. But here's I think the next step for you, I want you to pick a place and a date. Like, Sam, do you have a place? Do you have a specific place chosen already?
Yeah, I do. I want to go to Ecuador.
Yeah. Okay, done. When do you want to go to Ecuador?
Tomorrow.
Nice.
No, yeah, that's a good. I like that. I need to pick a date.
Yep. Because, well, so I love that you've already have a place. A lot of people, I just want to go somewhere, anywhere. I'll go anywhere. And the problem is when you say you'll go anywhere or when you say you'll do anything, like it's hard to take action on that. It's hard to
Yeah.
take action on I'll go anywhere, but you already have Ecuador. Boom. So if I were you, I would set flight alerts. This is what we do. When we want to go somewhere, we set flight alerts and they start alerting us. And we'll just be watching and like, oh, that's nice. And then one day they're like 99 bucks. You're like, are you kidding me? And we buy tickets,
Yeah.
right? Where does this fit? Boom. So set flight alerts for Ecuador. Do you know what you want to do in Ecuador?
Yeah, I do.
Give it, share the dream here. Share the dream.
So I have spent time there working in an orphanage, and I want to take my family there to work in that orphanage and just see. I lived in Cuenca, so I just want to go back to that city and let my kids experience like an outdoor market and speaking Spanish and just I want to go to Cuenca.
Fantastic. Okay. Cuenca, Ecuador. Now I'm going to lean in here. This is coaching. Do you
Okay.
have a picture of Cuenca up on your wall?
No, I don't.
There you go. That's the next step. Find
Yeah.
an awesome picture of Cuenca online, print it out. Just have it print. If you got a printer, print it out in color. Send it to Costco. Send it to whatever. All of you do this, please. You're like, oh, boom, that's where I want to go. Print out a picture of that, put it on the wall, and start talking to your spouse. Start talking to your kids. Start looking in the calendar when you could make that happen. You
Okay.
might find out, okay, when's the best time of year to go to Cuenca? There might be a time of rainy season there where it just is downpour every day, and you're like, I don't want to
Yeah.
go. So find out where the best time of year to go, and then start looking in your schedule.
Okay.
And I know your husband has an insane schedule coming up. It's gonna be crazy nuts, but he can carve out a long weekend in September or October or November or December. And
Okay.
you
See, that's a good point right there. Is I think of Cuenca and I'm like, well, I want to go for like 2 weeks.
I know you do.
So, but you're right. That's not doable for his schedule.
So maybe you could stay for 10 days and he could stay for 4.
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
But you have to take specific actions, get a picture up, get like a timeline, estimate, set up flight alerts. Like these little steps, you guys start to trigger things that roll in your favor.
Yeah.
I know some of you are probably listening to this like, I won't make a difference, blah, blah, blah. It does. It's amazing. When you start taking these little actions, things start to fall into place where when we don't take any action on it and we just keep thinking about and talking about it, nothing ever like comes to reality.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, can I commit you to have a picture of Cuenca up on the wall or the mirror or somewhere on the fridge? Today's Wednesday, by Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes. And start
Yes.
looking for dates.
Yes.
Okay. And have you been writing? You've been writing?
Yeah, I have.
I've been thinking about you because I know the baby's older now. I'm like, you got to get some writing time.
Yeah.
Are you going to use your website and just start publishing?
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that again. Because I have so many websites.
Right. Pick one and
Yeah.
even if you here's a idea for a lot of you, those of you who are creators, maybe just start sharing some of your writing, and maybe it's a couple paragraphs, maybe it's just one thought, whatever. Start publishing it on social media. Don't make it too complicated.
Yeah.
We as humans, we are masters of making things too hard, of getting in our own way. I would love to start reading your thoughts just on social media posts.
Okay.
No, like no specific rules about length or whatever. You're like, I just had this thought. Here's the thought. Here's the idea. Just start sharing. You have to start publishing.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
And if you want to publish on your website, it's I'm no joke. And 30 minutes to an hour, some YouTube videos, and you got it set up, and you can at least start publishing some content.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Making it doable for me.
I loved reading your stuff. I love reading your thoughts. And remember, we talked about this. All of you. Hey, all of you. Those of you who are my creators, I'm going to be really blunt here. You and I, we have a moral obligation to share our creations, our art, with other people. You with me? This isn't, you know who you are. It's not everybody, but you know who you are. You creators, you have a moral obligation to share your stuff, to give your art to the world. And Sam, you're not exempt from that.
Okay.
You have ideas to share, girl.
Yeah.
Share them. And start, again, just share them on social media too. Cool. It catches a lot of attention. You share some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
You break it down those little pieces there, and you start breaking through the logistics.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. Oh, I love Ecuador. Oh my goodness, I love Ecuador. We did not get a chance to go to Cuenca, but I love Ecuador.
Yeah.
I wait to go back and take my kids too. What a place.
So excited. So excited. We also just want to come visit you guys wherever you are going to be.
Yeah. We've been sitting there waiting for months. We didn't even move for like 3 months. We thought if we stop moving, we're an easier target.
I know. I know.
Still.
Oh.
Okay, who's up next? Who wants to go? Britta, you look like you want to go. Yeah.
I don't have a good one, or at least I don't have. I'm one of your beginners that's like still finding my dream and dreams. I mean, I have like a lot that I could think of, but
which one? I love that. I love that. I love when you're just getting started, because doesn't it feel like the whole world is open to you?
Yes.
When we start exploring, we're like, wait a minute, there's so many things I could do. Which one? Let me ask you this question, though, Britta. Which one? What makes your heart sing?
That's what I mean. I don't know. Because, well, I don't know. I guess I could say like my family, you know, like that's a big part of me right now, but I don't know. I'm still finding what the heart sing passion is.
Good.
So
good. That's beautiful. Is it something? Well, that's wonderful that it's family based, right? That's everybody here is like the family's the center. Is it you doing something with your family? Or let me throw this out. Was there something that you used to dream about that used to light you up, but family life kind of got so busy you don't do it anymore?
Yes, but I don't know if I'd go back to that.
What was it?
Necessarily. It was I would say I did dance for a really long time. That was one thing I loved, but it's not something I've really thought about spending the time on, and B, like I don't think that your body's quite where it was when when you were younger to do that kind of thing. So I don't know. I guess I would say I've gotten into other outlets kind of like that I enjoy, but I don't know if they're like a heart seeing outlet.
Good.
So
okay, what you said right there was beautiful. And everybody pay attention to this. Sometimes we get into things and we're like, yeah, I like this and it's cool. And it's okay to have those. But I think too often, all of us, we miss out on like this next level of, I like what you said, the heart sing, right? You miss out on this next level of energy and vitality and vibrancy. And those moments where you want to pinch yourself, you're like, are you kidding me? Really? And so sometimes just inadvertently, we settle for a life it's good, but it's not what it could be. I think you can all relate to this. And it's not, we're not like settling for some lame existence. We're just settling for good when there's something there with a little extra effort, a little extra clarity, there's something there that would just light us up. and light up our families, and it would be like legacy level stuff. So name a couple things. I mean, you're not married to anything you say right now, but since we're doing a little coaching here, I'm going to ask you to name a few things. What are some things, either just for you or with your family, that you think, you know what, that might be the thing that just lights me up?
Well, I would say one thing that we do is get out into nature in various ways. So that's something that that I do love, and we're leaving tonight to do one. And so like we do that. So that's something, and we do it as a family most of the time, and or some of the kids, and so that's good. I don't know, I guess I've always thought, I've dabbled in the writing idea, which you guys were running off on, or I don't know, I'm just trying to think of what would be, I guess it's not something that I have to figure out logistically, like you said. Yeah, rather it's
just start exploring, experiment.
Yeah. So
wow.
I don't know. I don't even know if writing's like my thing, but it's something I do occasionally. Like I do it, but mostly like Sam said, for her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is great. Some of you will do these things, and they'll be only for you. Mm-hmm. And I think another level where some of us are missing out is we don't do it consistently enough to really cultivate the love and the passion and the flow. Does that make sense? How many of you have dabbled in something that, like, you could like it or could become really good at it, but the dabbling just stops you from leveling up? Man, I know I like,
and maybe that's it.
With music, like I just keep dabbling, and I'm like, come on. I always find myself like back in a book or something, reading or writing or creating, right? But that's dabbling. I've never gotten to a place where I want to be because I dabble in it. So that's one idea there to consider, and maybe just lean into some writing. Say, okay, maybe for the next 30 days, I'm going to write something every day. Doesn't have to be a lot. I'm just going to write something every day for the next 30 days. All of you do this. Maybe it's studying a language. Some of you would be just lit up by learning new languages, but you haven't done it consistently enough. Some of you might be creating art or creating music or whatever. Britta, where do you live?
Arizona.
In Arizona. Oh, there's so many outdoor places there. Mm-hmm. What's something, and I'll just lean in this way, hopefully this is helpful for some of you. If you're like her family, like, we love being out in the outdoors as a family, what's something that would just be epic? Just epic. No limitations, no limited thinking. What's an outdoor experience that would literally just be off the charts for your family?
You mean well, we do have one planned. We're already planning one, and we just hope it works out with weird COVID stuff. Yeah. But and it's just going to be my husband and I.
Nice.
Our anniversary trip.
Nice. Where?
We want to do Kilimanjaro. So in October, that's the plan.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a big one planned, which is good.
That is huge. That's what I'm talking about. That's a big, beautiful dream right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we were going to do it. We had it on the schedule for October.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now it's tentatively for maybe February. We'll see. I'm going to get over there and get on that mountain, though. That's fantastic. And from what I understand, we've been talking to guide trips and everything. It's still open and doable, so you should be able to pull it off.
It's just the way their country handled COVID. That's the only concern, like getting back. Right. Would we be able to get back okay?
Yep. Oh, cool. That's a great dream. I love that. Fantastic. Okay. Love it. Awesome. Yeah, explore that. And if you want to, share it with us, but just keep exploring. Like, what are the goals? What are the dreams? What are the things that would just light you up and be like legacy level stuff? You look back and be like, that's, I'm so grateful I did that.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? Who else wants to go? Or did you have something else, Britta?
No, I was just gonna say, I guess it's that, and then it's finding the day-to-day things, the things that I can do incrementally. Like, we plan those big ones, and that's exciting, but like, what lights the fire in a daily situation?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'll keep exploring, I guess. Like, maybe the 30-day idea is a good one.
Yep.
Run with something for that long and see what happens.
Yes, exactly. Fantastic.
Okay.
And you're right. Thanks for bringing that up. That's such an important point. Sometimes many of us will live, we exist in between our big trips, right? So to speak. Like the big trips light us up. We feel so alive. And in between, we're just like, oh, I'll just grind
Yeah.
until the next one. But we can find things on the daily
Yeah.
that light the soul.
Yep.
And you guys, I feel inadequate here. I don't know that I have the words to express this, but I just want to convey the importance of being alive at a soul level. Who's with me on this? Like, just too many wonderful people are living in a walking coma. We're just existing, and we're settling for a mere existence when an extraordinary life is available to us. And our souls, like we're doing this day in and day out stuff. It's like, it is soul draining and soul killing. Who's been there before? Anybody? Or you're just like, yeah, I feel like a zombie. I don't feel like a glorious being right now. You're like, that's me every morning at 5. I feel like a zombie. I don't want to get out of bed, right? And me too, right? Every day you get up, you're like, oh man, another rough night with our 4-year-old in bed, right? Twice, you guys, twice she's peed the bed in a row. And Rachel's not even here. She's on her trip. I'm just like, seriously, come on. And she just wakes up with her cute little smile. I'm just like, what? What did I do to ruin your night? Oh man. Okay, who else? Who else wants to hit this? And we can shift gears here if you want. We'll do any kind of coaching. Anything's free game. Anything you want to focus on, anything you're struggling with. Let's just do some coaching right now. If not, I've got like 17 things I can rant about because I've been feeling it lately.
I guess I can say just a really quick status update. Just thinking about the day to day and what lights me up and whatever. Like my whole history, of course, is that I've been trying to find the balance between writing, like fictional writing, and computer programming, which are the two kind of passions that started for me in like elementary school. And after college, I went completely computer programming and didn't do writing. And then after I burned out from that for a little bit, then I've been trying to focus on writing more. And now I'm trying to do the balance between these two and like refine that balance that I had back when I was 10 or 11 or whatever. And as I've been thinking about programming, like allowing myself to be like, I can be passionate about programming instead of that's the enemy. Then I've been thinking that the projects that I really, really enjoyed, like over the past 20 years, the ones that I felt were important, even if the company thought it was just like the side thing and wasn't what the real focus was, were the things that really helped to save a lot of time. Like there was one place where in order to bring a new client onto this platform, it would take about 3 or 4 hours of manual work. They had this long list of all the steps that you had to take to set up their thing. And I did that once. I think it was like my first week. And it was just so annoying and took so long and it was just so tedious. And so since I was brand new there and didn't have a lot of my own work yet, I took the next week or two and scripted the whole thing so that you just fill out this form. And so it takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes to fill it out. And then you hit go and it builds the whole thing in like 20 seconds. So it's stuff like that that I look back, you know, that was like my first project out of college and my first real full-time job. And I still remember it, and I still feel like that was such an amazing thing. And I'm realizing that building time-saving things like that, making it so that it's possible to do things much faster, especially that repetitive stuff, that those are things that I just really love doing. And I love both working on it and the end result afterward. And so it's like, if I can focus on doing that type of work, then I think that'll be good, especially if I can figure out how to also make money from it.
Yes, fantastic, Nathan. Thanks. That's such a phenomenal point. So again, coming back to what we mentioned earlier, so many of us get caught up in some of the other stuff that just feels like a grind, and we just feel like we're just grinding all the time. Right? Who's with me on this? You just feel like you get caught in the grind and the frustration. You're just like, life then becomes, it feels like an endurance event instead of this extraordinary life that we get to live. It just feels like, oh, if I can just make it through this day, if I can just make it through this week, if I can make it through this year. And unfortunately, some of us are like, if I can just make it until the kids are gone, or whatever, or you're doing work you don't love. You're like, oh, if I can just make it to retirement. That's no way to live. Come on. And we live in such a wonderful time, you guys, where we get to choose. We get to choose. We have I'm sorry, I'm over here all over the place with the construction improvements. We get to choose. Actually, you know what? I gotta pause. Here's a perfect example. Two of my kids love doing aerial silks. All right, and we're here. We live in the mountains of Guatemala, and so what do? We ordered some aerial silks, buried a trampoline under it, built a tower under so it's covered. Our kids can come out anytime, day or night, and practice aerial silks. They love it, right? They love it. So there's a little extra effort, a little extra cost to do something that, like, especially for my daughter, it lights her up. I mean, it lights her up. She just was begging and begging. She's, please, can I get aerial silks, please? And I was like, I'm going to feed that. So do this with yourself and do it with your kids. If your kids have something that you can tell it's just touching their soul, feed that fire. Don't put it out. Don't tell them no. Don't say, we can't afford that. Oh, this can't happen. There's no way we can do that. It's not possible. Find out how to make it possible. Right? Find out how to make it possible. Whoa. Sweet. Okay. Alicia says, I'd love to hear what small practices you do to discover what lights you up. I know a few things, but I'm finding that I've been motivated by shoulds and duty and responsibility, all of which are good things, right? More than that desire since I was a kid. The examples in movies are like Eat, Pray, Love, where the person leaves all their responsibility behind to discover what they love. That's not appropriate when you have a family, right? And one thing I'm sure of that I'm passionate about. So what little things that fit into still accomplishing responsibilities help you connect with desire? Such a great question. Let me rephrase it and say it another way, right? How can we pursue passion and dream and potential? How can we have a bucket list and big personal goals without neglecting the family, which is also a priority, right? And one thing I've been teaching and saying and talking about for decades, literally, is like, don't ever let your personal dream like destroy your family dream. There are ways to make it work together, and so it fits together, right? So you can still raise this wonderful family, and you can still be moms and dads and husbands and wives. You can still have all that, and you can still, and I think have to, and this is part of this desire, you have to do things for you too. How many of you sometimes forget that you're an individual? I know you moms do, you rock star moms. You're like, are you kidding me? I haven't been an individual since I got married. You guys just are so good at leaning in, just giving your whole life to your kids that you forget to stop and say, oh yeah, I'm a person still. And it doesn't have to be on a major scale, but it has to happen. Well, that's why Rachel takes her annual trip, right? She's gone for 2 weeks, just her and the beach, right? And are you kidding me? It's Rachel's dreamland, right? Because she gets time alone to write and think and read, and she's rereading. All you moms need to read and reread Gifts of the Sea. Such a great book. Oh my goodness, such a great book. Read and reread that book. And so you have to do those things, and then you have to do the daily things. So great question, Alicia. Great question. What are the little practices you can do to discover what lights you up, right? What fills you? And I think I want to go back to what I was saying to Britta. Is just like take a 30-day window or a 60-day window or whatever window works for you, and just experiment and explore and experiment. And it may take some time. It may take some resources. You might have to buy some things or rent some things. We went to a music store when we were living in the South. They had these music stores, this music store chain throughout the South, that they would rent you any musical instrument. So we went there and we rented pianos, we rented cellos, we rented violins, we rented a flute. We just rented all this stuff and just had it in the house in our music room. We set up a music room. We wanted to see what the kids explored and worked with. And then when you find things like that, for Rachel, it's playing the flute. So we travel with her flute. Again, for me, I love learning the violin, but I've just been dabbling. I need to lean in. I realized that I missed. So, okay, here's a perfect example. I know Britta was talking about, let me see here. Am I back? Britta was talking about dancing, right? And I know Alicia has talked about dancing. I've had, you know what? And another coaching client. I've had so many coaching clients, the ladies talk about, oh, I used to love dancing. Dancing just lit me up. Oh, it's everything. And they're like, nah, but I don't dance because I'm not going to get on stage again. And my body doesn't do what it used to do. But if dancing still lights you up, I know I've talked about this with Alicia. If dancing still lights you up, just dance. Even if it's only in your kitchen, man, just dance. Or dance, take some lessons with your spouse. Rachel and I, at one point, we were in an area that had awesome dance lessons. So she and I took salsa and tango lessons. What a blast. We have such great memories of that. It was so fun, and it's romantic. Holy guacamole. You want to add some spice to your marriage? Take some dancing lessons, you guys. Get back in it. But commit. Just say, okay, we'll try it. We'll try it for 90 days. Try martial arts. We signed up when we were in Georgia. We signed up our whole family for Krav Maga, which is like Israeli martial arts stuff. We're just going to try it. It lit a fire like nobody's business. I did not see that coming, man, especially in my daughters. They just, they latched onto that. And I was all like, I don't know if they'll like this. I really wanted to try it. And they were like, let's go. This is amazing. We did aerial silks. We did, here's one that just came back when I was saying about dancing. I ended up going to the University of Utah, and it's just right there against the mountains. And so I was mountain biking and rock climbing all the time. Like, I often missed classes to go mountain biking. Just saying. And I remember that, and I was out, I injured my foot, and I was out running, and my foot kills, and I'm like, I'm going to bike. And it just started to stir in me again. And so I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm threw down. And I threw down. I bought a really nice bike. And I bike almost every day now. And I'm biking through these mountains up here in Guatemala. And that lights up my soul. So, and for me, it's just 30 to 60 minutes every day. And it's just good exercise. And it is crazy fun. And I listen to really great audiobooks while I'm riding. So every morning I'm hitting these things that just light me up. So try different music, try different books, read different genres, go take all the different classes. I'm going to throw out tons of ideas here, all for everybody. Just go sign up for random classes. Go take a language class. Go take, I I don't know what kind of classes are out there. Every kind of class imaginable. Go take an art class. Go take a sculpting class. Some of you might be like some amazing sculptor and you don't even know about it. Go take a sculpting class. Go take a swimming class. Go learn how to swim. Sign up for a triathlon. One of my coaching clients, his son had come into him, son 17. He's like, yeah, I think I want to try a marathon. He's like, done, let's sign up. They got on right then, they signed up. And he's like, I forced myself. We both paid. And now, like, by force, we're cranking in, 5 to 6, 7 miles, 8 miles a day. And he's like, I'm running with my son. We're listening to the same audiobooks. He's like, it's actually lighting us up. He said, I had no idea. He didn't know until 2 weeks ago that he and his son they just feel so alive training for this marathon. Sign up for a triathlon. Sign up for one of those tough races. Whatever, man, just come up with something awesome. Sam, maybe you need to take a solo trip to Cuba. Fly to Cuba for 2 days and just do some writing. And I'm not joking. Like, I'm serious. And like, get help with your parents, or maybe you do it while you're at your family's house. See if you can arrange it to go somewhere really cool for 2 days. Just take a solo trip. Right?
That is a great idea. I love that.
Pictures. Cuba's on my list, man. I want to go there so bad. But while your kids are out with the family, just say, hey, I'm going to take a couple of days for writing. Is that okay? And they're like, well, where are you going to go? And you're like, I'm just going to go get a hotel. I just really want to do some writing. And little do they know you're getting a hotel on the coast in Cuba. Like, whatever, right? Or anywhere, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, do these little things and just try stuff. Just experiment. Just explore. Is this helpful, you guys? Is this stirring things up? I hope it's stirring things inside of you. I think too often we just settle for this existence.
It's funny because all of those classes, like I think of that in terms of my kids. Like, oh, I want my kids to experience that, but I never think of it for myself.
Oh, such a great point. Because for some reason, and I get it, for some reason we just kind of switch roles. We put on a different hat. Like, oh, I'm the parent now, and I'm thinking about all these things. I so desperately want my kids to experience all this stuff. And every one of us has to stop and say, wait a minute, why am I not experimenting with this? With your kids. Go take the class with your kids. That's what I do. I take classes with them. I'm going to buy a motorcycle. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, I want my kids to be able to learn how to ride motorcycles. Okay, I'm going to go buy a motorcycle. Right? If I want them to train and learn something, I'm going to do it. I want them to be able to drive and try anything. So we're going to do it. Right? Then we'll fly airplanes, helicopters. But I mean, just go. You with me? Like, let's share some more ideas. Everyone share some more ideas. Some more ideas of things you can experiment, little things we can do to try to make things happen. Okay, here it goes. Britta, I remember one of mine, learning. I love to read, and I love all the learning here in the book recommendations, but I actually get frustrated when I have to stop and get back to real life. Oh, I think you're in the right crowd. We're all like, oh, I just got pulled from this amazing book. It's like getting yanked back into reality from this amazing dreamland, right? I think we can all relate to that. Any ideas for how to stop and not resent getting back to other things, which I also love, but I don't like the resentment. Yes. Oh my goodness, good point. Lisa said, I like that. Stopped reading for a while when I had kids because I loved to read, and I used to binge read all day, and in the night to finish a book. Can't do that, by the way, guys. That's not sustainable. I've done it. It doesn't work the next day. I hated being interrupted all the time when I read, so it felt like better not to try. I'm gradually getting better at picking it up and putting it down without being upset. You know, Rachel and I had to do that. We had to anticipate interruption. I think a lot of the resentment and the frustration comes from somehow kidding ourselves that we're going to be able to sit down for 3 hours straight and be able to read without being interrupted. And if you go, for most of you, if you go 3 hours straight without your kids interrupting you, be concerned. Something's going on. Like, wait a minute, where are they? What are they doing? So Rachel and I, we just started to anticipate. Like, I'm going to sit down here and read for 30 minutes, and I'll probably be interrupted a couple of times. And if you just adjust your expectations and just decide ahead of time, like, oh, you know, in 10 minutes, the kids will probably come to the door to ask me a question, and I'll just pause and answer it, and then I'll get right back into it. And when I switched my expectations, it didn't upset me anymore. I'm like, okay, I can read for an hour. I don't like to be interrupted, but if they do, it's okay. I'll get right back into it. And I know it's a subtle, simple thing, but adjusting the expectations and being okay with it, like, changed everything. So keep up the learning, keep up the reading. And I know you may not want to hear this, you guys, but early mornings, you never get interrupted by kids early in the morning. So if you want some uninterrupted time, get up. And you're all saying, oh, but I'm so tired. Oh, and that's an easy answer. Ready? Go to bed. All of you, get to bed. Oh my goodness. I think right now, with all the coaching I do and all the people I work with, I would say one of the most, if not the most common kind of self-sabotage problem I'm seeing right now is people just not getting to bed. You just stay up way too late. And so, of course, you don't want to get up in the morning. It feels like torture. But I promise you will not get interrupted early in the morning. That's why I started getting up earlier and earlier, because I'm like, I got alone time, which is so precious. No interruptions, where I can just read and write. So those of you who want to do more reading and writing, go to bed earlier and get up earlier. Yeah. Okay. This is good stuff, you guys. It's fun to just pause and stir this up again and say, what makes me feel alive? What makes me feel excited? What are the things I'm going to look back and be like, yes, I'm so glad I did that. And you might want to look back right now, kind of jump ahead 5 years and look back and say, what do I wish I'd done differently? And if you find yourself saying, why didn't I just take that class? Why didn't I just try it? Why didn't I just experiment? Why didn't I just go for it? Why did I let fear, timidity, or shyness, why did I let that stop me? I should have just gone for it. So lean in. Okay, before I let you go, here's what we're gonna do. I want everyone to give at least one thing. Will you commit right now? Make a commitment. So we're throwing it out to the universe, to God, to this group, to me. One thing you're gonna start leaning into a little bit more. Pick your thing. And it might have something to do with your big dream or goal, or it might just be like, you know, I'm gonna try that. I'm just gonna give it a try. Maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 90 days. Everybody share one thing you're gonna lean into. Mine right now, you guys, is writing. I'm writing my book for men. It's my life's work right now. It lights me up. And so I'm writing that book. Okay, get pictures up for travel. Fantastic. And pictures on the vision board. Yes. I just redid my vision board and got it up. So excited about it. So if your vision board needs a refresh, get it up, get it going. Oh, and I didn't tell you guys the next level. I promised I was going to tell you the next level. Here it is. In the first thing in the morning and last thing before bed, practice seeing yourself. Sometimes we can see the scene, but we don't see ourselves in the scene. Practice seeing yourself in the scene like a motion picture. Like you're watching a video or a movie of you in that scene. Right? That's the next level stuff, and how you feel what it would feel like to be there doing it. Okay, we only got one so far. You can jump on the mic or throw them in the chat box. I want one from everybody. Yes, watercoloring with my daughter. Oh, keep putting it off. Yes. Oh, yes. Do that. Fantastic. For some of you, it's going to be like horseback riding with your kids, or biking with your kids, or paddleboarding with your kids, or whatever. They've been asking, you just need to go. They want a class, go take it with them. Throw down, people, lean in. Okay, I am playing with learning languages on Duolingo. Helps Stoke my hope that I will travel someday soon. Fantastic. Yes. So every week I cook French food and I study French every single day on Duolingo. I'm at like 450 days now, consecutive days on Duolingo. That fuels my fire, my drive for our big vision of having a chateau in the French Alps, right? So feed it. I love that. That's a great idea. Come on, keep them coming. What's the thing you're going to lean into? You can share more than one if you want to, if you got it. But I want everyone to walk away from this today, like with at least one specific action step. You're like, that's something I can begin doing that's going to move me in the direction of my dreams. Going to put a small local adventures on the schedule. Yes. Working towards a big dream, but this weekend we had some fun as a family. Awesome. Made me realize we need to do small family adventures more. Oh, yes. Amen to that. In between the big adventures, just be more strategic, be more thoughtful and intentional about small adventures. You can have so much fun. So much fun. Nathan says, I'm going to read something new every day in a personal development book. I've gotten stuck on rereading books and have neglected new books. Love it. Yep. Novelty is huge. In fact, just in a general sense, just try new things, you guys. Read different genres of books and just try new things. In fact, every day, the world is so abundant now and there's so much variety. We literally could try something new every day, whether it's a new food, a new restaurant, a new route, a new sport. Go. Have you guys played pickleball? I tried that recently. It's pretty fun. Go try pickleball. Go try handball. Go try racquetball. Go, like, they have these scooters. They got these one wheel scoot. Go rent scooters. Go downtown. If you guys live near a city, go downtown with your family, rent scooters, and just cruise around downtown. What a blast! I mean, just pick all these cool things and go do it. Nice. You love pickleball in high school. Fantastic. Love it. A friend of mine just built 2 pickleball courts in his backyard. That's how into pickleball. He's like, I'm making them myself. He put it in his backyard. Emily says, lean into more one-on-one time with my spouse and reading with my kids. So with that one, that's a fantastic one. Will you schedule that? All of you who have things like that, schedule it. Like if you want, don't just say it. Don't just say, I want one-on-one time with my spouse. Don't just say that. Pull out your calendar right now or after this call and actually put it on the calendar. Make time, set alerts, make a little 3x5 card. I shared this with my money mastermind group. I'm just using a very simple 3x5 card and I put down the most important things in there and I make check marks by them. So every single day, morning and evening throughout the day, I look at it and I look at what I need to do and I put little tick marks, right? So if one-on-one time with your spouse is on there, you just make your little card and you go in there and you check it off. And you're actually measuring. You're like, geez, I only had one-on-one time with my spouse twice this week. That's unacceptable, right? So you start checking it and then put reading with the kids on there. And then every time you read, check it off. You're just measuring. It's so easy. It's so simple, but it's so powerful. Like, oh, I'm checking. Yeah, I read to my kids 5 times this week. Bam, that's a great week. It's a great week. But if you're tracking and you look back at the week, you're like, I didn't read a single time with them. Just having it in front of you is so big. That's a huge one. Love that. Do I take my 4-year-old on trips like scootering? Absolutely. Because I want my littles. Well, there's some things I do with the big kids that the little ones can't come. But I want my littles to be engaged with a very active life. And so I realized that I have to carry them sometimes. So they would end up like on my backpack, or we go out hiking, right? I take my littles knowing they're going to get tired, they can't hang, and I have to carry them. And I'm willing to make that sacrifice to put in the extra work. So my kids the little ones feel involved and they love adventures. Because then when they're a couple of years older and they handle it, they're like, let's go. Of course, let's go. Because they've been used to it their whole life. So I'll figure out ways to make that work. So I would have what we do like on a scooter like that is Rachel's a lot lighter than I am. So she and a 4-year-old would ride on one scooter, right, and go, or I put another kid on my back, on my shoulders would go, or we'd figure out something like that. Nice. Taking 2 days to NOLA next week. Schedule it. Yeah. Nice. That is awesome. Way to go, Emily. Yes. Okay. Love it. Love you guys. You're the best. Thanks for being awesome peeps, man. A quick success share here. My kids are off doing their daily morning tasks for the summer that we implemented last week. Yes. They know what they need to be doing and are hopefully staying on task. Ideas of chore charts and other daily schedules help me create one that works for our family. They're up on the wall. Oh my goodness. Way to go. That's huge. That's huge. And just for all of us, you just keep revisiting that through the summer, right? Because it'll lull a little bit. You're like, oh, remember, let's go, let's get back on it. And then it brings so much order to the chaos of family, right? And it helps us feel productive and happy. And then you can easily add in the mixture of adventure and challenge and new classes and new things and dreaming and chasing those dreams. Set this example for your kids, you guys. Let's all lead out in chasing our dreams and being truly alive, not just going through the motions of life. Okay. Love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Reach upward.